from the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Brinker with your Monday update. A shooting happened yesterday in Lawrence and police are still searching for the suspects. KUJH reporter Tomas Hoppough is on the scene.
Ryan, I was actually here at the crime scene last night and it was huge. They actually shut down the entrances on the east and the west side of West 19th Street, and it actually shut down the entire block. The suspects are still at large right now, and 3 victims were actually taken to trauma centers in Kansas City. Their statuses were originally life-threatening, but after their surgery, it was changed to non-life-threatening. However, the Lawrence police investigation continued throughout the night.
None of this should happen in Lawrence, you know?
Police responded to the 1600 block of 19th Terrace yesterday around 4:40 in the afternoon on a report that one person was shot.
It sounded more like a door slam, but it could have been a gunshot. And then just shortly after that, the 2 fellows came out the front door.
At 5:30, KU released an alert through text and their website saying police were searching for an armed suspect involved in a shooting just south of campus. And students who live blocks away took caution.
We locked the doors, we were watching through our windows, and we saw a lot of other people looking too around the neighborhood. And I said there was a shooting at the 1600 block, which is like that house right there, and looked out the front window and we could see the cop lights.
As somebody had mentioned, they thought that people had walked out of the house and gotten into a vehicle and driven off. However, seems to contradict what we're finding physical evidence-wise, a distance from the home, which seems to support that people left on foot.
Witnesses say they saw an ammo clip thrown by the suspects near a blue flag across their street, and another thrown into a bush just feet away. Lawrence police are still searching for the suspects, investigating the crime scene, and questioning neighbors.
The police are going to do their job. I'm not too concerned with it happening again.
Leavenworth police provided the K-9 units that was used to actually sniff out the crime scene here. But this morning, police were knocking on door to door, asking residents and neighbors if they knew anything about the investigation. We actually called a number affiliated with the house address last night, but they declined to comment. As of right now, there is no new information. Reporting live in Lawrence, Tomas Hoppough, KUJH News.
Thank you, Thomas. If anyone has any information, you can contact the Lawrence Police Department at 832-7509. Some businesses at the KU Union are moving out because of proposed renovations. According to the University Daily Kansan, the changes aren't finalized and aren't expected to happen until 2018. But Salon Hawk told us earlier today that they have to be out by Friday. Jay Bull is also expected to be taken out of the Union, with no word yet on when the bowling alley is expected to move out. We left a message with Director David Mucci for further comment this afternoon. He has not immediately returned our call. Same-sex marriages have started in Alabama, despite defiant action taken by a state judge. Last night, Alabama Chief Justice Roy S. Moore ordered that no marriage licenses would be given to same-sex couples, despite the federal ruling that the ban was unconstitutional. However, several probate judges have begun issuing licenses and performing wedding ceremonies earlier today. The ceremonies have been met with protest, but continue to happen across the state. Up next on KUJH News, we had a gorgeous weekend in Lawrence. Alden German will be here to see if it sticks around. Plus, winter weather continues to cause problems for Boston as the Northeast prepares for another round of heavy snow. Stay with us. The Northeast is getting hit with another round of snow for the 3rd week in a row. Boston, along with much of the Northeast, is looking to get another 1 to 2 feet of snow by tomorrow. The city has already had over 40 inches of snow and has gone through its $18 million budget for snow removal. Plus, the city is running out of room to put the snow. Boston has also issued 1,500 tickets for unshoveled sidewalks. Although it's snowing in the Northeast, here in Kansas, it's looking like the next few days are going to be pretty calm. Alden German is here with the weather. Alden, what does the next couple of days look like for us?
The next couple of days are looking pretty nice, Ryan, and it's actually fairly interesting about Boston too. They're getting a whole ton of snow, but our winter has been relatively calm and mild too, so we've only had about 9 inches of snow for the entire winter. But enough about Boston. Let's focus on our weather here. Here's a look at some footage that was shot earlier overlooking the Campanile and the Spencer Museum of Art on top of the Union. It was just cloudy all day today. Cloudy, cooler compared to this weekend, and it was also a little bit breezy as well. But the sun will be coming back out tomorrow. Here's a look at your Tuesday planner. Waking up around 7 a.m., 22 degrees. The sky will be sunny. It will be a little bit breezy as well. Around lunchtime, 45. Winds will still be staying consistent all day. And then at around 6 p.m. Tomorrow night, evening rather, 53 degrees. And our high tomorrow will be around 55. So here's a look at the next 3 days. On Tuesday, 55 degrees. It'll cool off a little bit on Wednesday. Our high is only going to be about 40 degrees, and the clouds will also increase a little bit on Wednesday as well. But on Tuesday, temperatures die down even more. 30 degrees on Thursday. The clouds break up just a little bit, and it's going to be pretty windy on Wednesday and Thursday as well. So it's going to be fairly mild tomorrow, then temperatures are going to cool off for the next couple of days, and Thursday will probably be our coldest day of the next week. But while it's cold, while the weather is cold in Lawrence, sports aren't necessarily. Ryan, Alana?
Well, sports are certainly heating up, and I'm joined now in the studio by Alana Flynn to tell us just that. Alana?
The newest Associated Press poll is out, and KU is in familiar territory, and the sports world mourns the loss of basketball legend Dean Smith. We'll take a look at Smith's career next. Sports is coming up. Basketball icon Dean Smith passed away yesterday at the age of 83. Smith began his basketball career at Topeka High School and was a member of KU's 1952 championship team. Smith went on to coach at North Carolina for 36 seasons, winning 2 national championships. Bill Self says the passing of Coach Smith affects all of basketball.
Certainly a huge loss to not only our basketball world, not only to the college game, not only to fans that follow it, but to society in general, because he was an innovator and certainly a man that I think set a great example for so many to follow, not just his players, but for people that he touched indirectly and directly. So it's a sad day.
Smith is survived by his wife and 5 children. The new AP polls are in today. Here's a look at the Big 12 teams that made the poll. The Jayhawks are ranked 8th for the second straight week in a row after splitting both of their games last week. Iowa State has moved down to 14th, and Baylor has moved up to 16th after winning at West Virginia. Oklahoma has moved up to 17th after winning 4 games in a row. Oklahoma State and West Virginia are tied at 21st. Now KU is coming off the road loss on Saturday at Oklahoma State. The Jayhawks were up by double digits in the second half, but blew it after the Cowboys went on a 14-0 run. KU is back in action tomorrow night at Texas Tech. To the women's side, KU held their Jayhawks for a cure game against Oklahoma State on Saturday. KUJH sports reporter Hank Cavaniero made it out to the game and met a very special woman.
Meet Robin Kidney.
Hey!
She is what makes this game so special. The color of the night was pink, as KU had their 7th annual Jayhawks for a Cure event. And why was Robin here?
After the CT scan, then I found out I've had cancer, about stage 4.
Robin had breast cancer in her right breast, but didn't realize it at first. This caused her to be sick every day at work and even miss Thanksgiving with her family. So what did she do?
I said, the heck of it. I went to the hospital. I drove myself there.
She had emergency surgery to put a port in and now has attended 4 Jayhawk for a Cure games as a survivor. Her favorite part of these games?
When we go walking out onto the field house floor, I'm going to be doing my usual victory kind of thing.
She even says she likes the basketball part too.
Yeah! Yeah!
So while the Jayhawks lost their fight to Oklahoma State tonight 65-57, Robin won't go down that easy.
I just love living. I love life. I'm not going to give up anytime soon.
Hank Cavaniero, KUJH Sports.
Robin attended the game with a group from Lawrence Memorial Hospital. The track and field team brought home 4 event victories at the Husker Invitational over the weekend. The women took the mile while the men took the 3,000-meter run. Both the men's and women's team won the 4x400 relay. The Jayhawks traveled to Arkansas this weekend to compete in the Tyson Invitational. After a weekend tournament in Florida, the women's softball team remains undefeated with a 4-0 season so far. The most impressive win of the weekend was KU's 8-0 win over Penn State on Sunday. KU plays at Bradley on Friday. The Kansas women dive team defeated Iowa State in their final duel of the regular season over the weekend. The team finishes with an overall 9-3 record. KU is gearing up for the Big 12 championships later this month in Austin, Texas.
Tighten your belt for that special someone, because it's looking like this Valentine's Day might be more expensive than ever. According to a recent study by the National Retail Federation, this Valentine's Day will cost on average $142 per person, up $10 from last year. That will total $19 billion overall. In addition to the uptick in prices, the survey went on to note which items will be the hot sellers for this year. Those include flowers, jewelry, and of course the biggest item on the list, candy. So it's looking like this Valentine's Day is going to be luxurious and fantastic. If you could have just one thing for Valentine's Day, what would it be?
I really want a Tyler Self jersey.
Don't we all? How about you?
Well, there are two things I want for Valentine's Day. The first one is to not spend it alone, and the second one is for a Jayhawk victory on Saturday for both the men in Baylor and the women too on Saturday.
I think if I could have one thing for Valentine's Day, it would be to not be expected to spend $142 on my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. We'll see. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.